How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. So on today's video, we got something a little special for you. I know usually we show off the trucks and my brother's Cummins, stuff like that, but we got a new vehicle on the channel today, and it's my buddy Anthony, and this is his new ride.
What's up, guys? This is my 1970 Ford Falcon. It's a little unique because it's actually the half model year, so it's a 1970 and a half technically, which essentially had the same body as the Torino.
I was gonna say, I'm sure a lot of people confuse it with the Torino, but yeah, man, it's a nice looking ride. And we always enjoy featuring new vehicles on the channel, so hope a lot of you guys can appreciate this. I know we've got some few old school muscle car fans here on the channel, and you know, I got the Camaro and the Plymouth down there, but I always enjoy throwing some new vehicles on the channel here, so we'll do a nice little walk around and then we can talk about some details of it. All right, so before we actually jump into the details of the Falcon, we can do a nice little backstory of, well, we've been friends for how many years now? Several years.
Friends, we went to high school together, but we didn't even really start hanging out till after high school,
right.
Which is funny.
And I feel like cars were a big reason that like brought us together and made us better friends. But before you got the Falcon, you actually had a few other cool cars.
My first old car that I got whenever I was 19, fresh out of high school, was a 67 Pontiac Catalina. Had that for literally a couple or 3 weeks and sold that because it needed some engine work, and I couldn't afford to do anything on it because I had just spent all my money to buy the car. So then after that, I got a 85 Pontiac Firebird, which is pretty cool. You know, it was not a hot rod, but it was a little bit souped up, had like a big carburetor and some intake work done on it, the transmission shift kit in it, so that's pretty cool. Then after that, I had a 73 Mercury Montego, which I actually ended up buying again a year or two later. A little bit of a funny story there. I got rid of that and got a 71 Ford Galaxy, which oddly enough I never even ended up driving home. I sold it to the tow truck driver that was supposed to tow it home.
I think that's one of the funniest stories.
That's probably the funnier one, because I had never had, I had old cars at that point, but I never had one that had manual steering and manual brakes. And I went in to drive it, and I'd never driven anything like that before. I was a little nervous to drive. It was in Ohio, so it was about an hour and a half drive, and I didn't want to drive it not feeling safe driving it, so I was just going to tow it home. But then at that point, the tow truck driver just bought it. And then, so at that point, I bought a house, and I didn't have anything cool for a while, but I got to a point to where I had another few $1,000s to spend, so I was looking on Facebook and saw the Montego that I used to own and bought that back, sold that again, and now here we are with this 70 Falcon. So
now the only one that I personally really remember was the Montego.
That was the only one you actually saw.
Yeah,
I think, yeah.
We went out to a few car shows together with it when I took the Plymouth and he took his car. Now that was pretty fun, and now he's got this, and we're looking forward to hitting up more shows this summer. So if any of you guys are in the area, maybe we'll announce ahead of time that, you know, we'll be out at whatever shows we plan on going to, and maybe we can meet up with a few of you guys, who knows. So now we're gonna dive into the Falcon here. We can go over it and show you the engine bay and maybe the interior a little bit, and you can talk about the specs that it has.
So this is the 351 Windsor. Found out, because I went to go order a throttle cable for it, because I went in to drive it one day and the gas pedal just sunk to the ground, so it needed a throttle cable. And never knew that it was originally a 6-cylinder until my mechanic looked up the VIN and realized that it was produced with a 6-cylinder, but at some point somebody put the 351 Windsor in it, so got a little V8 upgrade there.
That's good on your half, because
yeah.
muscle cars aren't, I don't want to say they're not muscle cars without a V8, but
it's got a V8. Yeah. I didn't really have much done under the hood, really.
It does look real clean though.
It's a decently clean 351.
Fits in there nicely.
Yeah.
Takes up a little bit more space than I bet that V6 did.
Oh, yeah. Probably wouldn't have bought it if it had the V6. I like the interior, is pretty basic, but it's clean though. Got the bench seat, all black. The shifter that looks like a manual even though it's an auto.
Probably fooled a few people with that.
I wish it was a manual, but
Got the old school aluminum mag wheels on it.
Yeah, with the Cooper Cobras on it. It's a nice combo. If I keep this car a decent amount of time, the next thing that I would like to get done is changing the gears out in the rear end, because the way it is right now, you kind of top out at 55 on the highway, kind of screams on the highway. So either change the gears out or change the transmission out for one with more gears or something. But it is drivable as is. You know, you can take it pretty much anywhere, but I wouldn't want to take it on a road trip though. So.
I will say though, it does sound really good.
It does sound good.
Got a nice little rumble to it. It's got that old school muscle car tone. I'm sure some of you guys know what we're talking about, but that's a big part of what makes a muscle car is the sound, right?
Definitely. It's not a muscle car if it's not a V8 and it doesn't sound good. But we'll start it up here.
Heck yeah, man. I love the sound of that.
That sound, yeah, nothing better.
All right, you can close her up. So I know you said about getting the gears replaced in the rear end if you keep it for a while, but is there anything else you plan on doing to it if you keep it?
Not really, you know. I mean, I don't want to sink a whole lot of money into it, because as like Hayden, I'm a Mopar guy myself, so I don't want to put all my money into something like this,
right? And
then not to have the money to buy a Mopar when I see it. So this is kind of just like a until I get what I want kind of thing. So
I feel that. Now we're both Mopar guys at heart, but we do appreciate all builds,
obviously,
all cars.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have.
I wouldn't buy something like this. So.
Now, we do have our opinions, because sometimes we see stuff that's completely out of line, and we wonder, like, why the heck would somebody do that?
Like racers and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, when it comes to like old American cars, you know, I like them all. You know,
right.
Mopars are my favorite, but I like them all. Obviously,
you got to respect this stuff because it's survived however many years.
Yeah,
you know,
this car I don't believe has ever been restored at any point. So
it's still on the road today.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I do like about the car is how the doors shut. You know, in old cars like these, it's satisfying when the doors open and shut so nicely and they don't droop or anything.
That's a nice sound too. Yeah. There's probably more metal in this door alone than an entire new car built today.
Yeah.
Now, do you plan on doing any like body work or paint to it if you keep it for a while, or it's kind of
probably not really? You know, I mean, I like seeing like the originality of the body of the car. You know, like I don't want to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to restore the car when I like the imperfections in it. You know. Like when you get up close, you can see like the imperfections, like the patches and the paint and stuff. But like that's the reason why it's not a $30,000 or $40,000 car. You know, I like the imperfections and being able to drive it without
worrying,
being afraid of a rock, like a chip in the paint or something. You know,
that's respectable.
I like the originality and the imperfections in it.
Sometimes guys go so crazy and they build like a complete show car and it just turns into a trailer queen, and you're afraid to drive it, and that's half the fun is driving these cars.
Yeah, I mean, I buy cars to drive them, so I will never buy a car to just let it sit in my driveway.
guys, I think that's going to do it for today's video. Anthony just left, and I realized I forgot to film an outro with him while he was still here. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, it's always fun featuring new vehicles here on the channel, and Anthony's Falcon is pretty unique. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, drop a thumbs up, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. I got a few other friends that got some pretty cool cars and trucks, so maybe we'll try to feature them here in an upcoming video. Hopefully you guys enjoy this type of content, because I really enjoy making it and sharing it with you guys. So leave your thoughts and comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. And on that note, we'll just catch you in the next one. Always accelerate and don't look back. See you next time.